always thought about how long it's been since I've eaten.
Arknights.
Entering core AIC area.
I'm only here for a few things. Oh, hold on, let me change settings. Change setting. There, custom keybinds. Now it's working. Do that. Nope. Come on. Here. I have no idea how this ability works. What am I looking at? What the fuck was that? Oh, what the fuck? What's it? What? I just killed everything in that range. They just all died. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to look up what that stuff does at some point. Oh, wrong button. Up 38. Still, okay, 62 is decent. I still haven't seen it down by 80% in a while. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm like sitting here thinking, oh, when's the next time I'm going to see that? And the answer is just fucking never, apparently. So let's check. Wait, please tell me I got something decent here. This is the area I'm going to be buying stuff more in. Yeah, please. 35's the lowest you could go. 43. I need something to be like down by 80%, and then I need to buy more or something, and it'd be like up by 80%. I'm gonna have to. Can I get out as many, please? Thank you. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy stuff again because I keep forgetting that I'm the hit limit. 35 really is the lowest. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yeah. Is there a storage limit? No. It's not, if I were to sell, I'm not like getting as much as I could. I really want to hit like 80%. I need to hit. I need to fight a negative 80%, and then hit them with the positive 80% afterwards, or someone else having like a positive like 200% or something. while we're in this room. Cheeky beaky. We'll do 5 of these. These have... Fuck. Okay, you do. We're doing that. Oh, okay. Ooh, level 3. Nice. You've actually got like everything maxed out. Cool. Yeah, I don't have as much stuff as maxed out as I could have, but I don't like going over to every single one of the things. Need the plants. Give me the... Yeah. Maxed out shaggy. Cool.
Looking for me?
That's not what to do. Why did I do both of these? Fineka and... Oh. That was weird. Oh, okay. Guess I clicked too fast. Okay. Is there any... I felt like my brain was just telling me something. It was like, there was something that, like, I was gonna like think, oh, I was like, oh, I need to do this thing and this thing. Or like there was like a thing I wanted to say and then it just completely disappeared from my brain. I have no idea what it was with it. Like the best thing I could think of was something that was in the original Arknights. There was something in the original Arknights that I was just remembering seeing before that I hope got added to this one at some point. And I, for the life of me, cannot remember what it was. There are a few things. There is some interesting stuff I did see while messing around with the new account. And I was seeing some stuff. I was like, oh, I was going through some stuff. So I was getting tutorials that I had never seen before. I was like, huh. This is a thing that definitely did not exist before. For example, I had only noticed when I started doing stuff in there that they added like an entire new thing to the base, and it's awesome. There's this whole like being able to there's like what are they called, activity rooms, which give you more ability. It allows you to gain trust on operators, like specific operators, like more efficiently. Because getting trust by having them inside of a facility is really, really slow, and it's the same in this game as well. Unless they're in the Nexus, where they actually get more trust. Oh, what? I was not expecting this problem to happen. Huh. I don't... I have one more thing, but I can't do anything. Huh. Interesting. But not only that, but like you can like walk around as your character. As like the character that you're using, like your assistant, or any character that's in an activity room. And this includes in other people's reception rooms. And I was looking, I was like, you can... Oh, this is fucking awesome! I can walk around and sit on the chairs and stuff. This is cool. I also noticed I think there's more customization in the base now, but like I don't remember customization very well. I did it so long ago. Otherwise, there weren't really any other things though. I don't think that was like actually added. Is Marley in here? Oh, she is. I saw her in red, and I was like, oh, she's not in here. Nope, she is actually in here. Oh, all three of them are in here right now. But yeah, Yvonne, Chen, and Last Right are all in here. Yeah, trust is a little harder to increase in this game, though. Because in the OG Arknights, trust simply increased, like, from when you did, like, literally anything with the characters. It wasn't just putting them in facilities and stuff. If you, or, like, you give making them as, like, RIIC assistants. Hello, Avi.
Hey, Endman. How's it going?
I was hoping for, actually, no, I think I have to talk to you for the junk chatter.
Hey, Endman. Good to see you again. And yep, you're still rocking that.
No, hold on, I want you to play.
must say,
There it
you've
is.
really poured your heart into crafting Young. It's incredible. Just floating up here for a bit, and it's already covered the distance that took me years to travel.
I love Avi. Avi is my favorite, like, she is wife. I love Avi's design so much. She's so pretty. She's also like really short when you like put her next to other characters. You don't realize how tiny she is. But like the fact that she's also like so actively flirtatious. If you've read her trust dialogue, as you just saw, I have her at 100% trust. She like the entire reason she's like in Enfield is because she heard the post office she was working at mention Enfield because the person working there was is an ex Enfield operator, and she does nothing. She did nothing but talk about wanting to see the administrator, and it's kind of cute. And considering how she acts around us otherwise, and in like voice lines,
Original.
like her promotion 3.
Look,
If I go pull it up, wait, did I just pass her? Oh, no, I did.
Where are we
I
headed?
wasn't looking. If you read her operator motion, I think it's 3.
Since it makes sense both professionally and personally, I don't mind if we get a little more personal here, right? Come on, don't blush now. I totally understand what you're getting at.
I really want to see what the fourth one is, as well as the other, the one trust dialogue I'm meeting. Or actually, no, there's 3 down here. Holy crap! I'm pretty sure most characters sell just 1
looking
for
me?
reaching close trust.
You finally
Really
remembered.
trusting. It's interesting that it goes like close and then trusting. Yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. I don't know. There's 3 normally. Isn't there? Huh. For some reason, my brain tells me there's only 1. Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of profile. Profile only has 1 for trusting. Yeah. Okay. I really want to read the other stuff for Avi. It was reading the like first 2 stuff. I was like, huh. I might want to learn more about her. Okay, let's go do other stuff. How much do I have? 99. I guess I could do one thing. Oh, I'm out of T-creds again, aren't I? Here. Literally, the story of doing literally anything in Arknights is, oh, I'm out of Lungman. It is just called Lungman, right? I can't remember. Let me pull it up, because I do have to do more stuff to do in the game. Is it just called Lungman? Or just... What is it? I feel like it's called something. It's not called just credits. I just think of it as currency, so I never remember the name. I tend to mess up the name between games anyways. I call Denny's Mora. I call everything Mora all the time. Doesn't matter what account I got it to. I do like the ability to switch accounts without having to like go through a whole bunch of extra steps. That's one good thing about playing on a phone and not a PlayStation. Uh, I forget how to actually do it. LMD, that's what's
All
called.
hands,
Widely is
stay
used
alert for
currency
orders.
issued by Lungmen.
Oh. Apologies. I was spacing out. Please pardon my lapse.
Oh, fuck. It would be worth it to start with his ability if it was for the fact that I don't have his P1. Yeah, getting these characters upgraded was the best decision I ever made. It is so fun to use these characters. But yeah, it's literally the story of my life playing frickin' Arknights. I am just always out of LMD. I logged back in for the first time and forever. I was like, oh, I have like 500,000 LMD. I should be completely fine. And then I immediately ran out when I started trying to upgrade characters. I was like, wow, I remember why my characters aren't all maxed out. I remember now. Arknights just does not let you do that. Like, trying to do that type of stuff in Arknights is just not feasible. Character upgrades are so expensive. But like leveling a character to max, getting a character to Elite 2 level, whatever their max is, because it is different depending on rarity. Not in this game though. But like it is just oh, I can stand up. I didn't know I could do that. But yeah, it is so unbelievably expensive. So especially because if you're doing just one squad, it is 12 characters. So good luck with that. It's more feasible with 3 stars and below, but that's just because they don't have Elite 2. They're restricted to Elite 1 only. Which is a little unfortunate, but I mean it still makes it usable. Why does that look like why does that just look like chip sockets? I haven't looked down there before. That's interesting. I do like the PACs that are just like floating around up here, which is funny because they're just floating around up here normally, but when they get sent down, they get put in these like metal boxes. I mean, it makes sense, but like, it is still interesting. But yeah, in the original, in OG Arknights, character upgrades are expensive as shit. Not to mention the amount of like random materials you have to get for both operator ascension or operator promotion as well as skill upgrades. You do have some of those interesting materials now here, but only for mastery, which is interesting. You only really need it for mastery. So you need D96 steel and then like some random plant. Oh, this one uses a different metal. This one uses tachyon screening lattice. They all use Mark of Perseverance, though. I guess it's more like that's just the crown, so it makes sense. They do have some higher grade stuff, like whatever the heck this is. But it is interesting that they do bring some of this stuff back. Granted, you can't craft them now. That was the... Again, that was my new thinking. That was the main thing with the whole workshop and the base, was that you are crafting. When you need to craft stuff, you are just going to sit there for like 20 minutes crafting things. And it's kind of peak. because it's like this whole resource and morale management. Especially if you're crafting anything super expensive, oftentimes you'll find like specific characters with really, really unique abilities. Like it's not just increasing the rate at which they give stuff; it's like also like the actual morale they use. Horn has probably my favorite workshop ability setup. She has one ability which not only gives you more byproduct rate, but it also gives you, for every if something costs 4 morale, no, I think it is just 4. If something costs 4 morale, she reduces the cost by 1 for herself. But she also has like she literally doubles the byproduct rate if she's creating incandescent alloy blocks specifically. Like, I don't remember if I ever used them for upgrading her. Actually, is she maxed out? I don't know if I ever maxed out her skills. I don't know. She just still has way more than enough damage. She feels about it. She's so cool. I love the Fortress Defender class is tied for my favorite class in the game, favorite subclass in the game with Swordmaster Guard. Though Vanguard as a whole, Vanguard is my favorite role. It only has 6 sub roles, it only has 6. Can you stop moving? It only has 6 subclasses: Pioneer, Charger, Tactician, Strategist, Agent. Pioneer, Charger, Tactician, Standard Bearer. That's the one I'm forgetting. Because there's only like one that I can think of in the entire game, and that's Myrtle. To be fair, there's only one strategist to pick up, and that's the dude who's like just recently came out. He was in the event, and I got him. So I was like, yeah, why not? I'm sitting here with it. I'll grab it. Still can't do the event anymore, though. Because I have to wait for it to... I think I have to wait for it to rerun before I enter the intermezzo. I think that's how it works. I think that's how it works. Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, these controls are definitely better. I am glad that I figured that. I do have to remember, if I'm closing the entire PlayStation while I'm on this game, I do have to remember to change it, because it does screw up my actual buttons when I open the thing back up, and it's like the passcode. It does change those buttons too. I have to remember to change them back before I leave. That is one funny thing I have to worry about. But yeah, Vanguard as a whole, it has some of the more interesting mechanics in my opinion. So it is my favorite class overall. But specific classes, it definitely goes to Swordmaster and Fortress. I love them. It sucks that I can only think of 3 Swordmasters and 3... I can only think of 3 Swordmasters off the top of my head. And I can only think... And there were only 3 Fortresses. The only 3 Swordmasters that come to me off the top of my head are Cutter, Irene, and Degenbrecher. And the only 3 Fortresses in the entire game are Ashlock, Firewatch, and Horn. Not Firewatch. Firewatch is a different character. Fire Whistle. I have Fire Whistle on both accounts. I've used Horn on my main account for a while. Only one I don't have is Ashlock, because Ashlock only appears in specific kernel head, which sucks. I hope I get either a kernel headhunting or like a normal headhunting where Fang the Fire Sharpman appears. Fortunately, I have no good way of actually telling when those characters will show up, because the problem is Fang is a 5-star. Luckily, Fang is always available in all standard headhunting, but I'd rather wait until Fang shows up as a rate up, or I have like a significant amount of pulse available. I might just have to end up using distinction certificates for Fang ult at some point. I really want the Fang ult. Fang ult looks interesting. I've used her a little bit on other accounts, because I remembered, oh right, there's support units in this game. And so I started using those. I was like, oh, this character's awesome. I really want her now. Not to mention, she has the same. Both Fang and Fang the Fire Sharpen have the same, like, tap voice line, like in battle. Which is like, it's I'm here. I think. I'm pretty sure they both had it, and I couldn't really tell when I was listening to music. Yes, the game's music is great, but I like having the same music play consistently. Unfortunately, games don't work that way, so I was just kind of having my own music play really loudly. Plus, most of the time, it's sitting there on auto battle. I don't want to listen to the same attack sounds over and over again. It does get tiring. Well, yeah, when I came back to the game, like someone recently, like a year ago or so, and I was like sitting there like, man, I really like Fang, and I was hoping they make some sort of altar, and then I'm literally sitting there on the Fang screen. I'm like, hey, what's that symbol mean? And I click there, and it's like, trust shared with Fang the Fire Sharpener. It's like, there's a fucking what? And I also realized, wait a minute, I can just look at that to see if a character has an altar, and that's when I recently looked through, and I scrolled through. I also, until very recently, like a week ago, recently, thought that Fang the Fire Sharpener was a 6-star. I only just learned that all of the like 3 stars that get altars are all like 5-star characters, and the 4 stars and above are like the 4 and 5-star altars are all 6-star. I was like, oh, that's much better for me. I also realized that characters get added to the standard pool way more often than I thought they did. I was looking at the standard list, and I was like, I literally like rubbed my eyes like I'm doing right now. I was like, I took my glasses and I was like moving it forward and backward like a magnifying glass, and I was like, she's right there. And I also noticed that horn was there. I was like, oh, literally, if anybody is just playing this, like playing the game, they could just get horn or fire whistle just on accident, and that's kind of insane. Defender fortress operators are absolutely absurdly useful. You can have them defend 2 entirely different lines at once in completely different ways. It's awesome.
Originium.
Let's go.
The battlefield shows no mercy.
Every character's 9, right? Yeah.
Originium will carve a
I was mostly just maxing out characters, I think.
The battlefield.
What do I want to do? I want to do your thing here. But hold on, does this increase healing?
The battlefield.
That might be more
shows no
worth it.
mercy.
Oh yeah, I already maxed out. What am I talking about? I'm pretty sure it does actually increase. So yeah, next thing I would do would be your combo skill.
I came to Enfield to learn, but there's way too much to take in. Gotta work even harder.
I love this man. Do you know that? It's kind of funny. Out of all of the existing standard characters, I feel like Li Fang is actually the best out of all of them. Especially when it comes to specifically the fact that I already have all the standard characters, but I have yet to get this. And I was sitting there like, who would I want to get? And I was looking through all of them in order that they show up in here. I was like, Ardelia, she's the one character I care about the least. Last Right's the one after that, but obviously I looked at Pog next. Pogs is pretty cool. His P1 is nice. I might go for his. Maybe. Embers is... I don't even remember.
The battlefield shows no mercy for mistakes.
What does yours do
We
again?
must hone our skills with
It
true
doesn't matter. Look at it.
devotion.
Let me get out of this.
Still
Here.
waiting for something?
Like, Pogs is nice. I might go for his. Who knows? like hitting at least 2 enemies as Pier's returned. You know, it's pretty nice. It makes it using his first better.
Still waiting for something?
Actually, no. The thing that makes it his better to use first, because it's slightly faster than doing 2 Li Fangs, is because the problem is I want to use. I have to make sure I can't use Pog's second, because if he consumes a stack, he will consume. If he uses it second, he will consume the vulnerability stack instead of adding to it. But if I have the Fang go second,
Leave it to me.
the problem is that he won't get the other effect. Oh, there it is. I was just blind. Yeah, physical susceptibility, but it has to affect with none unless you have his P1. Effect to enemies with no more than 2 vulnerability. Meaning you can have up to 2. Meaning you can do, if you have both of their P1s, you could do his, which if you hit 2 enemies, return some of that stuff. And then you do his skill, which still applies the susceptibility and applies the knockdown. It's really good. Yours is... Yeah, increases the power of the protection. From her effect, which only affects herself. It's not that worth it. His is nice. I do kind of want it, but Li Fang's is by far the best out of all of them. The other characters were... Ardelia's P1 is the one I already have, which is physical susceptibility and art susceptibility. Yeah, it's nice. And then this one that I could get if I chose her would be... Just heals the other operator with the lowest HP. So, yeah, okay, cool. Last Rites is... Yeah, it deals extra damage with stagger from the character affected with her skill effect, which is cool. Here's a cool skill effect, but she's not the character I'll be using for a while. But out of all that, it just shows that Li Fang's is by far the best of all of them. And in my opinion, Li Fang is probably the best character out of all of the standard 6 stars. Because his actual overall utility is really good for any physical character, aka the Administrator. Because his effect with the physical susceptibility, and if you're running him as like a character next to Pog instead, and you're using Pog's Breach, his effect still takes place, which is nice. Plus he applies Link, which is cool. Although Pog can't really use Link, because I don't think Link will affect every hit of his ultimate. It will only affect the first one, I imagine. But this dude is absolutely insane. Out of all of the when I was replacing Chen with him, I was thinking that's gonna be a marginal difference, but it will be nice. I do feel like he'll be better because his ultimate does knockdown. What I didn't realize is his ultimate does 2 knockdown. He does it twice. He can do solo knockdown with a single effect. The only other character that can do that, as far as I'm aware, is Gilberta, who forcefully applies lift with her combo skill, I think. It's a weird combo skill, though. It doesn't really work well. I don't think it works at all in physical teams. Unless you have another character that's doing a different arts effect. But it also, he gives Link, too, which is really good. Yeah, knockdown plus physical susceptibility. His combo trigger then can apply Link, and the effect is itself from his own physical susceptibility. Hitting a final strike on someone with physical susceptibility or breach is much more reasonable than electric infliction or electrification. Mostly because the only electric infliction that she does is through her ultimate lance returning. So what you would have to do is throw her ultimate, return it, hit the final strike, then you can finally do that, which then puts 3 that's, and then you have to do another skill after that if you don't have another character. This basically means you have to run her with
Practically
Pearly,
ready to go.
who's the only character that does reasonable electrical application, because it's just like final strike. Like I love you, Avi, but trying to if you were trying to use her like in a vacuum, she just doesn't work. But this dude can use his own physical susceptibility for it, and it's really easy to apply. Granted, he can't actually get any use out of these stacks that he applies. But if you're gonna run him, you're probably gonna want to run it. If you're running him as DPS, you can still run Enmin as a like sub DPS on the team for that. Plus, but you can also just get Pog, who applies breach, which he can also use. So like, it still works. Granted, at the moment, I think these two are still the only two that can take vulnerability. Wait, does vulnerability have its own effect? Oh yeah, there's not vulnerability.
Leave it to me.
No, I don't think the vulnerability does give any actual like defense effects. I think breach is the only thing that does that. But like, he can still do all that stuff on his own, which is cool. Like on his own, he can skill, and then he can do final strike to give himself link, and then consume link for extra damage with this, while applying 2 more effects of knockdown that do even more damage. Anyone who doesn't see it is just blind. This dude's insane. Maybe Last Right is better, maybe in overall damage. But the difference is that Last Right, I'm pretty sure you need to have other characters to use her with, because Last Right's, the difference is that you get characters that work with Li Fang for free, like just for existing. If you're gonna pick any character for free, I definitely recommend Li Fang. Not to mention the fact that he's also just kind of cool, in my opinion. I like Li Fang a lot. He's got a really cool design. He's also in a NASA, which is really cool because that makes him, as far as I can remember, the second ever named Anasa character. There is a single other Anasa whose name I can't even remember, and she's an operator. She's a sniper. I don't remember anything else about her. But she's the only other named Anasa in the entire series. Because last I checked, when I tried to look up notable Anasa characters, she was the only one that showed up on the Arknights wiki. Not the fandom wiki, the actual wiki. Fandom wiki sucks. Mostly, also, just to explain why I've just been kind of running around and talking to myself into the screen. I'm thinking of stuff to do. Do I have anything else to do right now? Anything overfilling in here? No. Last one. I appreciate one thing is also fine. Yep, I'm not overfilling anything right now. Oh shoot, I was gonna be online all day. Originally. Oh. I'm pretty sure my Farium will be fine till tomorrow. I'm using an extra 30 a minute. It's one every 2 seconds. How long will it take? 44,600 divided by 30. Oh, a literal 24 hours to run out. I think it'll be fine. I will, however, go stand in front of it, just so I remember. Ah, I need to turn that off. This is the wrong place. Where am I going? Chin Cow production. I need to stand in front of the thingy-majigger. One thing I do want to talk about on the record is the thing I saw about how the system works when we get more than 2 AICs. It does make sense and it does really work because realistically, you're never gonna need more than 2 AICs. Your AIC is mostly going to be active for one reason and one reason only. Your AIC is going to be active and doing stuff because you need stuff to sell. That's what most of it is. You need stuff to sell, and you need the power to make that work. Plus, you're usually selling what you're using to make power anyways, as well. Like, for example, everything that's in my Wuling AIC, it may look like a lot, but it's only a few things. It is literally just sheer night production. The plants are all included in that. Battery production, Jinkao drink, and Yajin production. That's it. And because of that, once you finish all of the outposts in an area, you're kind of finished with the AIC for that place. Right now, I'm selling stuff to my Valley 4 AIC. I'm making stuff in the Valley 4 AC just because I'm selling stuff to it. Like, that's literally it. Like, if I go to here, the only things that are being produced are a rigger crust to sell, because why not? I also craft with it a lot, so why not have extra? Same with the amethyst parts. The excess gets sold, and the rest of it gets actually made into stuff. The batteries are to produce power, but the excess gets sold. The capsule A are to get sold. Again, Farium parts, it's just the building certain things and to sell. And then, again, batteries. That's literally it. Once I have everything in the stock redistribution, like once I eventually have all the stuff in here, the only things I'll be getting are like the Valley engraving permits that restock. I'm not going to grab the food stuff. I don't really need any of it. But like once I grab all of this other stuff that's like temporary, the only thing I'll ever be doing here is buying engraving permits, which you don't even need. Those only need. I don't need any of this. I might get some of this stuff though. Getting some of this stuff is what I'll probably be doing just for certain characters' trust levels, but it's not necessary. So like once I have all that stuff, and the only other thing I'll be buying for the meantime is these are the only like refreshing things I'll be buying for a while. But once I have all those, you literally don't really need to be in here ever again once you buy everything. So like Valley engraving permits are pretty much it. But again, those are just to make it a little easier to get essences, which, congratulations, you don't really need those. So for a while, Wuling will really be like the only place we do stuff. I will eventually pack up the entire Valley 4 AIC. So the way the system works is that there are only two AIC active at any given time. And if you're gone for more than a week, there's actually less than that. Like if you go into protocol management and you do this, it'll actually tell you if you are. Oh, where is it? Actually, that's the other thing. Auto management duration limit is 7 days. Yeah. If you're offline, and it'll go into auto management, and once you are offline for more than 7 days, it just stops doing stuff. To save calculations and memory stuff for the actual company itself. Make the servers easy to run. It's all this. It's among the few things you have to sacrifice for performance or for optimizations, which is fine. 7 days is still longer than you'd expect. to be honest. So it's it's not bad. If you're gone for 7 days, you don't really care anyways. Plus, 7 days is easily enough to completely run out of space. But yeah, the two that are active are the one that is going to always be active is the one you most recently unlocked in the story. So, for example, whenever we go to this new area, right now that thing is set to Wuling, but it doesn't matter because there's only two right now. The next thing that'll happen is when we go to the next region, whatever that's going to be called. That region's AIC, when you unlock it, will be the new, like, always active, because it's the one that you're going to be expected to be crafting in a lot. And then the second one that's going to be active is whichever region you visited the most recently. So, for example, if you step into Valley 4 to do, like, a specific quest or something, that one now becomes active, and your ruling AIC will stop working temporarily. Once you re-enter Wuling, it'll swap from Valley 4 to Wuling. So it'll turn the Valley 4 one off and then turn Wuling on. It's really easy. All you need to remember is which one did you do, which one did you unlock more recently, and then whichever one did you enter more recently that isn't the one you just unlocked. It's really simple. I've heard people try to explain it, but they do it really weirdly and poorly. It's really simple. It made more sense when I actually read it. I was like, oh, well, that's easy. Generally speaking, you're not going to be dealing with one of them. You only ever really need two, so it's no big deal. It's basically just the one you need in the story right now, and the one you need the one you need canonically in the story to be like actively doing stuff, and then whichever other one you want to have extra that you might still be using. For those of us that have started playing day one or just patch 1, that's not going to be an issue at all. Those that are coming in later are going to have a bit of an issue because it's going to be like, oh, they can never have the two first ones active at any given time. So they might want to slow down on unlocking AICs, which is fine. You don't need to do the story all at once. The only time you really need to do stories if you need to unlock actual stuff. It would be cool if you could actively turn off certain ones entirely. I wish you could. Because I would love to just go into like the PAC and just turn off the entire thing. Anyway, that's enough rambling for me. My voice is shot for today. And I'm still awake for another like 15 hours. I already shot my voice. Neat.